Good morning, Facebook, and welcome to Blabbing for Britain, episode 59. Good morning, Stephen.
Morning all. Hope you're all a fab show.
I hope so too. Morning, Peter.
Good morning.
And good morning, John.
Good morning from the Midlands.
How was the curry?
The curry was excellent. I've got a headache this morning.
Curry does that to you, John.
I don't know why I didn't get drunk, because it's alcohol free, because a lot of the members are Muslims, and still got a headache this morning. But it was a good evening. How was your broadcast?
Well, thanks to Stephen, I believe it was fab. Bloody fab. We had 63 views so far, which for the first one, I'm pleased, really pleased with. And it went. We kept it to a half an hour, and it just went like that. It went so quickly.
It did. It flew by, and we were joined by else. I'm going to get it wrong, aren't I? And we lost Stephen for a moment. We're joined by Elsebi,
or I have
on camera, and
so talk amongst yourselves.
Away, and the 30 minutes just disappeared.
John,
just totally disappeared. Welcome back. Almost back. This is good. Right. Okay. And of course, that was one of two shows this week, and the other one was with yourself, Peter.
Yeah.
Lessons learned. Or did you enjoy it, first of all? Did you enjoy it? Because it was on your birthday.
It was my birthday, and Mr. Upton was the man behind the scenes. It was quite funny. But you know, I had a lot of views after.
Oh yeah, that's it.
When I done the Facebook Live, I got a few people looking in. So I think it's building up your audience, and it's funny. I had people talking about it before, and so what I'm doing now is just trying to tell people I'm going to be on it this time, and people are quite interested. But it's just building up. I think you've got to really be structured and get people up and have a subject that maybe not a hot potato. So what I've got coming up this Monday is I've got a friend of mine who's set up in business. He's a member of my BNI club. He's decided to set up his own business. He's IT, and he's going to talk about, I'm sure it's computer viruses or backing up your system, one of the two.
Okay, yep, security.
We're going to get him on about that, and I'm going to look at a magazine and have a look at the latest gadget, you know. Oh, incidentally, look at this.
Yep.
It's a light from a pawn shop.
Okay.
Now, watch if I turn it off, see where it goes. Oh, doesn't make much difference. Does it see any difference? No.
Not really.
Right. There you go.
There's a slight difference.
Yeah. So I'm going to be investing. I'll be investing some lights. I've actually, do you know what? I found out I got a sore back last week I did a little setup in a spare room, and I've actually got a computer stand this week, and it means I'm not leaning over. I'm actually looking up this week. I don't know if you've noticed it, have you?
Yep.
Difference. So, sore back. No, not really. Right. There you go. Right. So, what I think I've got to establish is what caused the echo, what caused it last week. We've got to make sure we shut down the system.
Well, I think I'm thinking through this logically. You invited myself and John into your pallet, didn't you? So John was sat there in the pallet, and the changes on Smiletime are such that we can hear everything that John says. The audience can't, but we can hear it.
Right.
So when somebody in your pallet says something, you can hear it. The other thing is, if the person in the pallet has another tab open, i.e. watching the live show on Facebook, which is what was happening, then in our headsets, we can hear the Facebook replay from 20 seconds ago. Right. Now, that means that when you're talking, it's absolutely crazy, because you can't actually
what got me is during the day when you weren't there, I was putting on Smiletime to have a look.
Yeah.
But every time I opened up, Jon was there. I was a circle going round and round. He was there.
Yeah. Well, the thing to do is at the end of every show, kick everybody out. Yep. So
Right.
there's nobody in your pallet.
Okay.
That's the best way. Because I mean, the thing is, you might not even know you're in the pallet. That's the problem.
Because he wasn't showing up in the pallet.
Sorry?
He wasn't showing up in the pallet.
But you said the circles were going round.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Right.
Yeah,
But
that's what was happening.
The connection was there.
Did you realise what was going on, Jon?
Well, I was in your show when you started,
Right.
but I wasn't showing as green, which means I wasn't in the palette according to the system.
That's right. But you're still speaking of it. Because at one time I knew I says, it's Jon, because I heard you laughing. You were speaking to somebody else or something. And I heard you laughing. I says, it's Jon Upton.
The interesting thing was I was never in Smiletime and Facebook at the same time.
Wow. Well, all I've got to say is it was quite stressful. I had a chap, Kenny Dooley, that had been having lunch with him that day, and we've been doing something together for marketing and so it's come into this tonight. But no, I think it's hopefully slowly build up an audience and get it out there. And I'm just trying to think of other things that I can do. I've got to watch and not make it too local, local to Aberdeen. And I'm going to have to look at national news and things like that. Having said that, have you just listened to Theresa May's speech?
I'm afraid you'll have to say that sentence again. It came out very Scottish.
Have you just listened to Theresa May's speech?
Well, that was two days ago, yeah?
No, this morning.
Oh, no, it wasn't the way she'd made one. What was
She's over in the Alps at some meeting,
Ah, she's at Davos.
Yeah, Davos, and I thought she handled herself very well and explained that we are now a globalist country. We'll do deals with anybody that wants to deal with us. We've got 12 countries already wanting to do deals with us. She's very nice about it, want to be your neighbours, but we're in charge of our own destiny, all that sort of stuff. Nice and pleasant. Hello, Fraser.
Morning, Fraser.
Oh, blimey.
Welcome
Scots are here in force today.
Welcome to Blabbing for Britain.
It's Blabbing for Britain Thursday. Yeah! Sorry, got to liven up a bit. So what's going on, gents? So hang on a minute. I've just got to backtrack a second. Peter, did I hear you right? You got a sore back in a hotel?
No.
No, I was thinking, what the heck have you been up to if you got a sore back in a hotel?
No, I got a sore back leaning forward, so I got a laptop stand, and the laptop's higher than me. It's face level now, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay. I was thinking, Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
My girlfriend's my partner's not happy because I'm starting to take a room upstairs again. When I made a little office outside, but I hate it. Never in it.
Cool.
It's got a man cave, it's got a television and everything in it. I'm never in it. Absolutely hate it. The reason is it's so easier to make me a cup of tea and run up with it.
I have to admit, even though I'm from Scotland as well, I sometimes, because his accent is actually a lot thicker than mine, I sometimes am having to listen a little bit carefully because it's just that it's something. There's certain words it's that high because you're so up north. It does that little bit can be quite. You have to really think.
I'm not going to answer. It's Bristol. Hold on.
No.
What I can do for the moment is this is beautiful because the enhanced Smiletime means that I can take people on and off stage,
right,
without actually they're still in the palette, so
okay.
I can bring Peter back on just like that. There we go.
Welcome to Steven.
I'm talking to Steven on Messenger. I don't know. I'm invited, and I'm not getting this video feed through yet.
Okay. More chat. This is much better.
Have you ever sort of, Stephen, you ever thought of maybe because you're doing this so regularly now, and you've sort of kind of created a brand, have you not thought maybe as in branding yourself a little bit more, maybe having like a background with Blabbing for Britain or other stuff you do?
We have that, but because there's 4 of us on at the moment in the format we are, you're not seeing it, Fraser, but it does exist.
Well, no, I'm talking about behind his on his wall behind him. He could have like a stand or something. You got that, but I'm talking about say behind him, so he has like a background for his branding. He's got Blabbing for Britain. He does other stuff.
Well,
There isn't room in my office, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe get yourself a branding of, because you've become so you're on it and already. You've been doing this for a long time now. Best part of a year.
we all have.
So what I'm saying is maybe get yourself some Blabbing for Britain or Blabbing for something T-shirts or like kind of brand. This is us. Hey, we're Blabbing for Britain. So
I mean, start merchandising.
yeah, maybe because you've got that sort of, instead of just because it sort of spices you up a bit, gives you that sort of kind of it gives you that who you are, a bit more of identity. Because the moment you
it
just
doesn't convey the 4 old farts image that we're used to conveying.
so there's
He's with us.
Is somebody listening to the messages? Oh, it's Peter.
Can you hear, Peter?
I can hear Peter, and this is getting his revenge here, because can you hear Peter?
no.
No.
I can
Okay.
hear a little tiny noise in the background.
He's telling it. Peter was wanted to get back on screen, and his way of doing it was to replace phone messages. So that whilst I'm talking, I can hear his phone messages in the
Oh, can you
background.
hear that?
Oh yeah.
So can you not put me off the pallet then? Sorry.
You were
And
off
if I kick you off the pallet, then I've got to invite you back in. It's a
Okay.
lot easier just to take you on the pallet and take a hit.
Now listen, Fraser. Look at my hat.
What's your the talkinator?
Right? No.
Okay.
So,
You must have sat up all night. Did you sat up all night thinking about that one?
well, from exterminator to talking.
half speaker, half exterminator.
Okay.
Okay.
Talkinator. Okay.
So I've got a show on Monday night, 7 o'clock.
Oh, the talkinator. Okay.
Yeah, the talking. Right. So merchandise.
You should join Robin Galloway on a Friday night on Talk Radio.
I've actually spoken that show for Robin Galloway. I know him. He's from Aberdeen.
You can tell the same kind of accent kind of thing, but he's
Uh,
softened a bit when you get further down the way. So
I actually give a live radio interview with him.
not Robin Galloway. I mean George Galloway. I was talking about, not Robin Galloway. George
Oh,
Galloway.
George from Dundee.
Look, the man from Respect.
Yes. Yeah.
Aye, George Galloway. He's on Talk Radio. I mean, aye.
I'll tell you, he's a very good speaker. He's a very good speaker.
Aye.
Handles himself well, usually. He doesn't really flustered and things like that. Anyway, I'll take
Cool.
us off. But
Right.
just to show you my merchandise.
But just for the sake of it, you can have Blabbing for Britain
Yeah.
stuff like a T-shirt and all that. That's what you could do. But Michelle D's in the house, blocking them.
So here's a question. How do you build up an audience?
Well, if you want an idea, right, to build up an audience, you've got to have one, you've got to have good content of what you're talking about. Two, you just got to keep doing it regularly, and not just once a week. You've got to, like, for example, if you listen now, I'll give you an example. Good people to watch is actually a woman called Janine Cummings. She started just doing her sort of live streaming on Periscope and obviously Facebook Live and talking about stuff, and she's built up a bit of a following, and she developed a thing called Pass the Cast. So it's kind of like you do a live stream, then you pass, then somebody else kicks off, and like Periscope. So this goes all the way around, and eventually back to her. But also, and that's what happens. And you talk about what you do, and you also set up a thing called a group called Women of Worth. So there's and it's basically for what people talk about the stories, what they do, and motivational speakers and all that type of thing.
Yeah.
So it was actually very good to watch, even just listening to her. And she talks about how to be, when you're live streaming, about content, etc., etc. she started off from, you get very little viewers, but you got to keep it going. It's just a process.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
it's like
You've also got to share what you've done elsewhere. Yeah.
sorry.
So after you've done your broadcast, you've got to share it.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen my little broadcast from the Curry House last night, 38 seconds long. That's had 120 views now.
Yeah.
you're at the Curry House. Curry, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have networking once a month in a Curry House. A different Curry House every time.
Was there a naked flame involved afterwards?
So what I'm going to do is get a YouTube channel set up, and then I'm going to put it there, and then basically put it out, get people to the Talkinator page in Facebook. And what I'm doing, Fraser, I'm getting businesses up to talk and give them a pitch and what they do, and then I'm going to interview them, etc.
That's the whole excuse.
Gadget of the week or something like that, or what's new in gadgets and what's new in technology, and I'm going to have a bit. It's called "Help! I Need Somebody Help." That
Okay.
one. Any problems? It's like a problem page, but help.
I'll give you an idea. I'll give you an idea, a tip. I probably try and make it a bit different. Now, I'll give you a tip. It sounds like you're almost borderline doing what you're trying to do is a video thing, but you're trying to do a podcast as well. And maybe what you can do is I recommend listening to the James Whale Radio Show podcast. Very good. How do you do it? They have a tech talk session. They're very witty and good with Rob Oldfield. James and Rob are great. Great to listen to. I highly recommend it because you might, when you're sort of doing a show, it's actually good to listen to other shows that are out and about there. And by listening to how they structure their show, you can pick up little hints and tips of how. Well, I like that. I can maybe not copy it, but I can do it in a different way.
That's I'd be very much, but I want it to be a unique show. You know.
Yeah, of course. But you develop it in a way. But of course, it's going to be. But it's a way to you learn from other people of how they do it. And how you take it from there. You learn from them. And you say, well, that's great. I like it. And you pick ways from other shows to, it's still going to be neat, but you develop it in your own way. And that's how you will grow your show by doing something. But it's good to listen to how they do it so you can experience, I like that. I'll try that. And how to plan your own way forward, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen, do you think we can get a word in edgeways between these two Scots fellas?
Meanwhile, back to your correspondence in England, we've got John Upton and Steven. So what's the news down there, please?
The horse kicked off.
Oh, dear me. So what's the weather like up north? I'll ask a typical English question.
Absolutely beautiful today. It was cold in the morning. I got my long johns on, and it was a lovely day yesterday. I got out, walked about, and it was great to be alive. It really was. It felt
and Fraser, up your way?
Overcast, I should say, and it's mild. It's about 8-9 degrees today. It was mild yesterday. It's very humid, and trying to sleep the last few nights has been bonkers.
And
it's been very mild.
Stephen, Stoke-on-Trent?
Grey, horrible, wet, windy.
It's a 100% match here in Solihull, just south of Birmingham. So
I sense the hand of Stephen Healy here.
Yeah,
we're all there we go. He's turning us all around on the
he's playing producer now. He always wanted to be a TV producer, really. He didn't want to be an accountant. He wanted to be a producer.
But apologies to Fraser, who I'll bring back in a moment. One of the main things that changes here is obviously we know that the Facebook Live, you can go live on your own now, on your page, on your business page, in a group, and that means everybody else has got to up their game. Well, Smiletime have, because I, as producer, I can just go off stage and just watch and listen, and I don't have to be on the camera all the time.
And is that you?
And
is that you?
am I doing this?
No.
What I'm doing now is new. I can swap people in and out at will.
Talking out.
No, I brought Peter back. And what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and be fair. I mean, we've lost somebody. No, we're okay. I'm going to try and be fair. I'm not going to mess about, but we do have more possibilities, is all that I'm saying.
Have you heard that there's been some really bad news in Italy? There's been a snowstorm and a landslide, and a hotel unfortunately got buried, and there's quite a lot of people lost their lives, unfortunately.
Yes.
So,
I mean, we know.
Yeah, it's Italy's having a bad time just now. They had another earthquake not all that long ago, and they're suffering, you know. Yes. I noticed Michelle's having a lot of problems. Right.
Well, let's just.
I think obviously she wants to keep the show going. Sorry, Stephen.
Okay. Just to let you know, there's a very important event happening in about 48 hours' time. Yes,
Yeah.
My birthday is coincident with the first full day of the Americans' new president. So I get a really nice birthday present this time. So I just thought I'd mention that one because nobody else will.
Saturday.
Yeah, birthday on Saturday. I'm just hoping. I mean, obviously, earlier this week we had the Brexit speech by Mrs. May, and we know less than we did before. But we do have. We do have. Obviously, tomorrow's a big day because President Trump is elected.
Well,
And inaugurated. Well, so yes, sorry, right. Thank you, John. And what are your thoughts on it, Peter?
I think it's time for a change. I think it's a man that's going to make a difference in this world. People will have to sharpen up and not have a lazy way of society, and people who have been too easy, going back to the days of Ronald Reagan type person, you know. They all laughed at Ronald Reagan, and I thought he was a good president. Right, put my offering away outside the phone.
It's time you learn to turn that bloody thing off.
That we can do.
He needs to turn it off when he's in the show. That's what he should do, and then just turn it off and say no, because it's all, if you're doing it, it'd help going forward. You ever thought of turning this into a sort of style podcast as well? Because you obviously have the video side of things.
That's one. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's one of the things. Two of the things you shouldn't do. I did one of them by ducking off screen. You should always keep your attention if you're live on the screen. Otherwise, you run the risk of going out of focus, which I have done. And the second thing is, should be back. I'm in focus.
No, you're
No.
Oh, good. All right, I'm just going to.
Ghost.
Okay. This is good. What can I do? That's better. Right. Right. So we did in LVS 17, which is our group that we're all members of. I'll just LVS 17.
So what does LVS 17 stand for?
Right. Okay. LVS 17 stands for Live Video Streaming 2017.
Okay.
We started the group back in December, and if you type LVS 17 into the Facebook search, you'll find us. And basically what it is, it's people who've been broadcasting for years, people who've been broadcasting for weeks, and people who haven't broadcasted yet. And we're all in the one place, and we all help each other and promote each other. And we did a do's and don'ts of broadcasting yesterday, which I've got to admit I used in my new Skillshare course. And one of those was do not have any distractions, switch your phone off. Yeah, look at the camera. Don't play with your glasses. Don't brush your hair. A whole range of things that you shouldn't do when on camera. So we've had two of them. or eat on camera. Yeah, we're all guilty of this at some time. And it's if it's a show with mates, then it's not a problem. But if you're doing a business show from your business profile page, as you can now on Facebook, then it might not be the best idea in the world. Yeah, now just it's time. It's that time of day when we have to say that England are playing cricket. So Jon and Steven are going to be quiet for a moment. And England are playing India, and the current score is India are 189 for 3 after 32 overs.
Thank you for that, Steve.
On camera for that.
Can't stand cricket. Can't stand it.
No, I think that's pretty much the sentiment from everyone else in the chat. And he hasn't talked about the fact that Burnley won 2-0 the other night either.
Cool.
They did. We sorry, Jon. We have 23 points now. We're mid-table, and we're still in the FA Cup. So things are going very well.
Are you going to give Peter a lesson in live streaming? Turn your bloody phone off. Yes, Stephen. Not Stephen. Peter. I mean, do you have on your phone? Do you have an Apple iPhone by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay. There's an app. Just whether you did or didn't know, right? There's an app you can get, which is called. It's free. It's called. Let's see if you can see it. It's called Truecaller, right?
Yeah.
And it tells you. Now, the good thing about it, it tells you all the spammers in your area. Now, you set it up on your phone, and when a spammer phones, it comes up red on your screen saying it's spam. So you just let it ring out, and it actually cuts it off itself. And the good thing about it, it means you don't need to worry about it. As soon as you look at your phone because it's ringing, you know it's spam straight away. So you don't need cold calls, and it's actually very, very efficient, and it updates regularly. Truecaller, and you can tweet it out. If you do get a number that's not registered, you can register the number into the app, and you can share it out on Twitter, and it's good, and it's actually very, very efficient. There is a paid one, but there's the free one, which is fine. It gives you updates. Truecaller.
The last one was a bloody traffic accident thing.
Yeah. So
just to let you know the situation, I run my business, my pest control business journey, and you're right, I'm going to transfer it to Gordon. He takes my calls when I'm not available, so I'll have to phone a call center and get them to do that. Yeah, before I come on.
But what you do is, but you can. It works with just. It will help you. If you know it's going to be spam, you don't need to answer it. But
well, that's a very good.
A suggestion is put your phone on silent when you're on this. Just stick it on silent, so you know if it's going to ring, you can still see it. But just when you need to, if it's important.
These guys know me by now.
But that, if you want to get your audience in live stream, is what Stephen Healy was saying was you have to get literally phone off, because when I'm doing a podcast, I have to have no background noise, as little as possible. It needs to be, because when you pick up, it picks up very easily when I'm recording with my broadcast partner, and you have to have no background noise. You have to talk about it and do your stuff, and that can go from there. But I'm not doing video. We're just using it for the voice, but we use Skype. But the background noise does affect it. So when everything off, just say no, boom, and then record or do what you do. And focus, because if you're just going to get distracted, you're not going to get people just thinking this guy's not going to get the audience, because you're too busy focused on your phone and what's going to around you. You're not focused on the.
I understand what you're saying. Telling off, right? It's
not to.
No.
We're all here.
This is like a Thursday morning chat for me. That's what it is. We're so used to each other after 58 weeks, and you're right about the phone. I'll make sure.
We're not here to. It's not to patronise, and it's to help make each other better at what we're doing. And live streaming is to help to learn and to make us better. So when you are doing it, you are going to get that. But I mean, I suppose for you got one thing. I admit, now this is where when you're doing your live streaming, it's something you're going to have to develop on your voice, like a radio voice. So because I admit your accent, because you're further up north, your accent's quite deep and thicker than mine anyway. And you have to get to say, well, people have got to understand me to be able to watch, because people are going to watch you, and so it's like I might as well I need subtitles, but it's just to make you got to think of how do I develop my live streaming so I can actually make myself things grow and become.
Can I say when I give a talk at a club the other night, my bicycle club, and when I give the talk about the Berlin Wall, which I do, they couldn't believe it was the same person speaking because I actually went into a different form.
Cool.
Here I'm just chatting on friends. That's the problem.
Good. That's good. But when you're doing a live stream, it's good to a program. It's good to develop a character. So you become like DJs, and mostly you develop a character, so you become that character.
That's why I'm the talking here.
Yeah, exactly. But you become the character, and you develop that character. When every time you're doing a live stream, you're not just your normal self. But when you're just doing general stuff, but you're that kind of character. So, like for example, when I'm doing the podcast, I totally develop something and just go a bit random, and we're very close to the bone and on PC. So, but hey, that's the good thing about it. It's so fun. So, anyway, I'll shut up now and I'll let the. Meanwhile, back to our correspondence.
I don't believe you, Fred. You're never going to shut up. Never. No, Steve. No. When you're on the show, John and I just sit back for a few minutes and relax.
Back to our correspondence down south.
The beauty of this, every show is different, and we take advantage of the fact that we've got new facilities on Smiletime. And I don't think there's no wrong way to broadcast. There are just better ways, and it's just a question of practice and time. And having both Peter and Stephen have gone through their first shows this week and survived and come out the other side. That's the key. The desire to do a second show, and then a third show, then a fourth show. Okay, but it's just fun. I mean, that's if you enjoy it, that's the main thing. And I'm running short of words now. Help! No, I mean, this is the other thing. That Peter's got a formatted show. He knows what he's talking about from beginning to end. With Blabbing for Britain, we literally don't have a clue. There is no plan other than the four of us turn up on air and talk, and it just flows from one subject to another, and that works. That works principally because we all enjoy talking and talking to each other and talking to new people. And just to note, because I'm restricted, if I could have 6 people on screen here today, it would be brilliant, because I could bring Michelle and Stephen on here, and Michelle has threatened, I'm just going to say this, that Michelle has threatened. Oh, right, she said she's going to try on Facebook. I misread that. I thought she was going to go live on Facebook. That's not the case. She's going to try and watch us on Facebook. She's having problems on Smiletime. And right, okay. And question from Stephen, John.
I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at mine, and my CPU is sort of 65%.
Yeah, mine's running 100% at the moment.
How do I find that on Windows 10?
Well,
you click on the bar at the bottom in an empty space.
Right click.
Yeah.
Right click, that is, sorry, and select Task Manager. And then when Task Manager comes on the screen, you want to click on the tab Performance.
Okay. So what's it saying? Utilization 89%.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, with 4 of us on screen, it is pretty high. And there is, I don't think there's any way around it, but getting up, mine goes up to 100%.
I'm peaking at 71%.
Right, okay.
Interesting is the Ethernet throughput as well.
Yeah.
That's on wireless with me.
And the Ethernet is still quite moderate, but I wonder sometimes whether the Ethernet gets too high for some wireless connections to cope with. You know, the bandwidth use.
I've got to say, we use a lot of we've got television that uses Ethernet through. We've got one out in the garage. We've got I've got a Wi-Fi extender here. So
And this is why I really think if you're going to do broadcasting, you need to be connected by a wire and not go wireless.
Yeah, but straight into, you see, I've got home plugs and it's using the electricity, so plug straight into that, even if it's upstairs.
Well, you can do, but the best thing is to be plugged into the router itself.
All right.
I'm
That's difficult if it's downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm-
The problem
I'm-
the problem with the home plugs is that sometimes the electricity can interfere with the signal you're sending it across.
I'm wireless, totally. There's no plug because my router's behind me, where my TV is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's not just the router end. It's if you want quite an old laptop, you can have an old style wireless connection, which is sort of like 50 mile an hour, compared with a modern AC connection, which is like 1,300 miles an hour.
So what I could do is actually get someone to come in and put some points in the house.
You can do, or you go to make sure you're using the latest in wireless technology.
Well, I think
AC.
I've got a 200 megabyte speed on my with Virgin.
Yeah, but that's slow compared to flat out AC,
yeah,
which is 1,300 megabits.
you've got a
Well,
lot
I'm
of
the fastest at the moment. Some people in like Falkirk area in Scotland are getting nearly 300.
Yeah, but I've got 200 megabits as well, but that's coming into the house. That's not the same as the two-way traffic over the airwaves inside your house. That's a completely different thing altogether.
Right, okay. Oh,
And with wireless, there's a maximum bandwidth and you share it. So if you've got two people on, you're both sharing that 50 miles an hour or whatever, which is why when you were broadcasting and the moment you brought up the same thing on the iPad, your quality dipped because both of you were sharing the same airwaves.
Is that me, John? Is that me?
Yeah, that was one of the problems on Monday night with having, you've got the portable and you're broadcasting on that and you're watching the show on the iPad, or your friend was watching the show on the iPad and responding to Facebook. What you're actually doing is sharing your connection. And therefore, it degrades your broadcast. Yep.
Okay, so that means I'm going to go and put points in the house.
Well, first thing it means is next Monday night, don't have the iPad on. That's the simplest thing. Okay, so John?
Or find out what your modem runs at, your router, and if that's an AC router, yes. So there, get yourself an AC adapter to plug in the side of your laptop.
AC, right? Okay. I've already bought something. I bought home plug. I've got a plug here next to me. It's a Wi-Fi extender.
Well, it doesn't matter. The thing is, if you imagine a funnel, and you've got your full bandwidth at the top, and it comes down and it goes to a very narrow tube. If you've got an old type wireless receiver, then you're at the bottom of the narrow tube. So you've only got a thin amount of bandwidth to use.
So check if it's AC, and if it's AC, you get an AC wireless plug.
If your router, can't pick mine up and show you, does AC wireless, then you need a plug-in to go in the side like this. That's also AC, and then you will be getting faster internet to your PC, faster Ethernet, faster wireless to your PC.
And if it's not AC, can I phone the people and they've got one, a new one?
Yeah, just touch it. The thing to do is to work out look at what modem you have, and just phone them and say what type of networking. And the answers are G, N, blah, there's one in between, and then there's AC. And AC is the latest.
Okay, fantastic. Right. Great.
It's yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
that's there. And also the iPad will have stolen more of the bandwidth because it is definitely a much later technology than your few-year-old laptop that you're using.
This is a new laptop.
Have you got a new laptop?
I bought a brand new laptop.
Well, that might have an AC connector in it then. And you might not have AC at the other end. This is what you need to check out, is
Okay.
to make sure that both ends are AC.
I'll maybe give you a shout on Skype when I'm doing
Yeah.
it.
I see either a private Smiletime or a Skype or a Messenger coming up on that one.
Yeah.
Right, okay, a couple of points whilst we've been chatting away. If you want to ask for assistance on Smiletime, Stephen, then you've got Smiletime page, top right-hand corner, need help, and press that button and you can gain contact with support. I'm going to try and invite you back in, and I want to say good morning to Neil. Good morning, Sergeant TCS, and good morning, Carlos. Now, this is a first. We are now, if I go off, I'll lose
Is that
it.
you, Mr. Romeros?
No, that's Carlos Phoenix.
Oh, t'other one. All
Yeah.
right.
Is that from New York?
Yeah, NYC, and it's 5:30. Well, it was 5:38 in the morning. So thanks for joining us. This is our regular Blabbing for Britain show, 10 o'clock in the UK and 5 a.m. on the East Coast. So we're a bit early for everybody over in America. But we could be caught in Australia. But I've not seen too many Australians actually on here. Have you, Fraser?
What?
Have you seen many Australians using this?
Not really, no. I suppose sometimes you're getting friends. Well, not. What's his name? The guy called Brian, who's Australian. He comes on occasionally. Brian Bulk or something his name is.
Oh, Brian Bolt. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've seen him occasionally.
He's Australian.
Right. I've invited Neil to join us, and should he turn up the pallet, I'll swap everybody around. Now, this swapping around thing, obviously, this is not personal. We can have lots of people. So if you get cycled off to the side, don't worry about it. You'll be back shortly. Stephen's having problems getting back on screen, so he's going to contact Smiletime support.
Just need to pay for
And also here, just for a second. Good morning, Ross. It's nice to see you. And having done that, I can bring John back in. See, but this is going to take some practice. And we're all going to have to get used to the fact that we're not going to be on screen all the time.
We'll be on a conveyor belt.
Well, when I saw this and I saw the new creator palette, and you had space for 6 video feeds, I thought, what's going on here? And the fact is that you can have 6 people in the palette and you can switch between them, which I rather like.
It'd be like the generation game.
The conveyor belt. On the conveyor belt tonight, we have John, Peter, and Fraser. And we're trying to get Stephen and Neil.
Glass bars and.
Right. And just to confirm, if you want to join us, we are live on Smiletime. The link is up above on the Facebook post. If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you very much. If you make a comment on Facebook, we will see it, and we'll try. If I show your comment, then I have to take somebody off screen, so I'm going to do it randomly. So don't worry about that. But we are live on Smiletime, and I'm going to put this up on screen. This has got to go there. Monday night, 7 o'clock, is the Talkinator, and we are fortunate to have the Talkinator with us today. So check out the Talkinator's page, and be there on Mondays at 7 p.m. for the next show. How was that, Peter?
Thank you very much. And
Nice.
I'm going to have to speak slower and use my lips and speak like.
What?
I'm not supposed to take it to the extreme.
So the people from Edinburgh can understand you.
Well, we've been chatting with you for a year now. We have no problems.
What was that?
Oh dear, oh dear.
Sorry, I don't speak
Right.
Glaswegian.
You should hear how they speak up north, further north than me. That's fun.
Oh,
I completely accent when I need to.
Accents. I mean, that's the thing is that the thing is there's so many accents throughout the UK. If you go into Somerset or you go over to Ipswich or you go up to Newcastle or Scotland or even Lancashire, everybody's got a different accent. It takes a bit of getting used to.
It does.
So you know, I mean, people think we're all one nation, but we are several. Well, we're 30 different counties. Right. Okay. Now, the other things going on this week. Anything happening in the Midlands, John, that we should know about?
No.
So it's all quiet in the Midlands.
One thing I was going to mention today was, did anybody see Mrs. May's suit? Mrs. May looked like she was a Bay City Rollers fan because when she did her speech the other day, she wore tartan.
Did she? Okay, I didn't realise that.
Oh yes, with parallel trousers that were very wide, and she looked like a Bay City Roller.
Black watch tartan.
Was that black watch tartan? Was it?
It's black watch tartan. Yeah. And let me tell you something else about the Prime Minister. She's a type 1 diabetic, and that just to show that you can run a country, be a diabetic, it's still a disability, but we can still do the work. Did you know as a diabetic you can fly a plane, you can drive a lorry, you can drive a bus, you can be a free fall parachute instructor. Did you know that diabetics could do that?
I didn't know they couldn't, so...
Yeah. At one time you couldn't. At one time, all of that thing you were banned. But that is one of the European things actually that come in, discrimination. Yeah, so it's quite fascinating what you can do as a diabetic.
Are there restrictions on what you can do? Like other things you're not allowed to do?
Well, a type 1, there's a guy in the British Army, I don't know if he's still in, he's a type 1, he is not allowed to do a tandem jump when he's training people, so he's not allowed to jump out of an aeroplane with someone attached to him.
Yeah.
He's got to be on his own. So that's one thing you can't do. You can't fly a commercial aircraft because you're type 1, but bus drivers, which you couldn't do before, are allowed to drive buses. At one time, as a type 1 diabetic in the offshore oil industry, you lost your job. But now you can go out under certain conditions because it all comes under the discrimination. I was quite surprised what you can. Well, even policemen who become diabetic, type 1, type 2, at one time they would have been kicked off the force. And there was even a fireman who he fought them many years ago, and I think he got an MBE or something like that for it. He got kicked out of the fire service because he had diabetes. I think it was even type 2. And he fought them, and now even as a type 2, you can be a fireman. And there's a friend of mine from Toastmasters, he's a doctor, and a type 2 diabetic can still be in the British Army in the front line. Probably not a fighting soldier, but somewhere in the front line doing admin, and the medicines get sent up front. So that's probably shocked you, hasn't it? Some of that stuff.
Aye.
Well, the thing is, it's something that we are not aware of, the restrictions that are placed. And
I'm still trying to work out how we ended up talking about diabetes from a trouser suit, but never mind.
well,
all sorts of things happen on this show.
The Prime Minister is a type 1 diabetic.
That's it. That was the link. That was the link, and I think the
great
thing
for being disabled, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it comes under the Disability Act.
Yes.
You know, if you get sacked from a job because you're a diabetic, or I'm afraid that you're in trouble, because it doesn't matter how long you have been in that job. if it's one day and they say, oh, you're a diabetic, we can't keep you on, then they can take you to a rule, even if it's one day, because it comes under the Disability Act. So one of the reasons I'm speaking is that I volunteered to become a speaker for Diabetes Scotland. So I'm chatting to them, and well, as you know, my problem just now, but it doesn't mean the end of your life, being a diabetic. It's only if you want it to be. Yeah. I've been diabetic since 1992.
Oh, now we understand the point. Because you're diabetic. Now we get it. That's cool. That comes understand if you said.
Okay, so yeah, we appreciate that, and I'm being told that John Upton is in my palette now. This is going crazy because John's on screen. Right, total change, total change of topic again. The Australian Open is on at the moment. That's the tennis, and the shock of the night was the fact that Novak Djokovic was knocked out.
Oh, good.
By a player ranked 117th in the world. Now, what effect does this have on Scotland, you ask me? I'll tell you. It means that Andy Murray will not be playing Djokovic in the final, and may well, in sort of 8 days' time, win the Australian Open.
Cool.
And he will be totally British, but also obviously a proud Scotsman from Dunblane. And I personally wish him well and hope that he does win the Australian Tennis Championship. And he's got a better chance now because his prime opponent's gone.
I was going to suggest that one of Neil, our sergeant, can set up a hit squad to take out Nicola Sturgeon, because I'm kind of getting fed up with all her rants about Indy Ref 2 and Brexit. She started to do her nothing just to take her out, because we want to keep UK together, personally. Just wondering if any ideas? Maybe not.
That's two of you. I'm looking forward to the day when we can get somebody on screen who has something. Sorry. Get somebody on screen who has something nice to say about her. Because I ask yourself or Peter, I know you are a country divided like we. You
want somebody to say something nice about Nicola Sturgeon? That's going to be hard. There's actually a group on Facebook called No Confidence in the President's Scottish Government, and some of the stuff is very funny. All the cartoons and all that. Yeah. But let's just say she's called Mrs. Nippy. She's now got a column in the Daily Record. I don't think the Daily Record's going to be bought that much. The sales will go down. So,
well, if there's a video just now for her own constituency, right?
Aye.
Which is an absolute disgrace. I think it's Clydebank or something like that. And there's a constituent challenging her. He says, "You've never even been down to it," and it's a bit of a mess. So
rat infested everything. She's left her own constituents go. She's just more interested in herself, really. She's not bothered about running a country. She's put Scotland in a biggest deficit than England. The cupboards are empty. We're completely almost bankrupt. And the way she's concerned is about keeping Scotland into the EU and making us independent. So I think it's I think there was a thing there was a poll. I think Hamza Youssef and somebody else was potentially 5 to become the next SNP leader. So if he gets it, he can all drive cars without being insured, which is all good because he was caught and he was nicked because he got stopped by the police for driving a car that wasn't insured. So it was quite interesting. So that's always good. So the SNP are just going from bad to worse, which is all good, and making Scotland a mockery, basically. So.
And it just shows you what you see here, right? You've got 2 Scotsmen on here.
Yeah.
And we don't want the United Kingdom divided. That's right. Yeah. Even so that I found out that I'm 46% Irish.
Are you?
My DNA. See, it's the silent ones that sit there. The silent ones, and anyone, if they're just found out in America, it's the silent ones that make the decisions at the end of the day. The ones that sit and calculate what's going on and make their decision at the end of the day. It's them that make the decision.
Okay. Well, I was going to, Stephen, may I have a permission to talk about the project I'm doing, if that's okay?
Yeah, sure. Take a few minutes for that, and then I'll bring Neil on.
Okay, the project I'm doing, as you probably may have heard or may not have heard, over the last sort of best part of just over a year, I've been developing a project called Awake Africa Scotland, the musical. The project is to do a stage show, but as the seed was planted, it's grown and it's grown and it's grown and developed. Now the whole concept of the show is to highlight the abuse of women in Africa and around the world, and also victims of sex trafficking. Now we have survivors on our team who have been abused and been through some sort of ordeal themselves, but they're survivors and they're there to help give women a voice. And that's what we're doing. We've now linked up, we're making connections every day with what we're doing. We're nearly at the end of our story and script. We are we're looking at a different venue. We're looking to sorting out that, but in process, we're aiming to highlight and put a message out there on a stage of what happens in sex trafficking and obviously what women go through abuse. And we're aiming to take the story to America or Africa afterwards and to keep the message forward. And that's what we're doing at the moment, is to help give women a voice within the community, so they don't have to sit and be silenced if they've been through or struggling. So that's what we're doing at the moment. But you can look at our website, which is awakeafricascotland.co.uk, or you can find us on Facebook. There's a like page, but there's also a Facebook group as well.
Thank you, Fraser, and wish you every success with that. And it's good morning, Neil. How are you? Can we hear Neil? We can't hear you, Neil. We can see you.
Now you can hear me?
Yep.
Now we can hear you.
It helps if we turn this thing on, doesn't it?
It
Works
really
wonders
does.
if you actually turn the thing on. But you can probably guess by my attire that I'm not in my normal sort of state, because I've just come back from running 3 miles, which was the first day of my I need to start getting a little bit fitter after Christmas routine. How long that will last, I've no idea.
Yeah,
I saw you pop up on my phone, so I thought, I'll just jump in and say hello, because it's the first time I've seen you since the New Year, sir. So,
belated New Year wishes. And how are things going with the campaign? What's the latest campaign news?
it started on, let me think, Tuesday officially, It sounded a little odd, this, because I'm not a huge fan of thunderclaps. I understand what they're about. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I've done another thunderclap because what it does do is it creates a real rallying point for people to talk to, and to get people to sort of offer their support to something that you can then utilize to sort of maximize the impact of what I'm doing. So it started on Tuesday. We're into day 2 of sign-ups. Just have a look now. I've got 81 sign-ups so far. And the social reach of that is 11,000 people short of 900,000.
Wow.
So there's already 900,000 potential social media reach on there. But I've got the big change to this year is that the National Police Chiefs Council, Chief Constable Suzette Davenport in Gloucestershire, is the National Roads Policing lead for the NPCC, and her office is now endorsing this campaign, and it will sit right in the middle of a week-long mobile phone campaign run nationally by forces and road safety organisations across the country in March, when the mobile phone penalty is double. So when the fine goes up from 3 points and £100 to 6 points and £200, there'll be a campaign raising awareness of that increase, and Don't Stream and Drive Day sits right in the middle of that. So it's suddenly got a lot more support, and that's showing in the last couple of days because there's an awful lot more organisations signing up to it. North Yorkshire Fire, for instance, have just signed up. I know who's behind that, but it should make it easier for forces to support because it's got that endorsement. So it's looking good, and without wanting to dominate your sort of blabbing for Britain with all my with all my stuff about Don't Stream and Drive, the one thing I wanted to do was, when I saw it pop on my phone and I wanted to come in, was just to sort of say that it is up and running, it is live. Do sign up if you're willing and able to. But what I did want to say was that it's on a Thursday, March the 2nd. It's a Thursday, and you guys were superb, absolutely superb with me last year, looking after me during the day on live video, and I'd like to do the same again. And if you're willing, I would like you to sort of participate with that and steer me through the day, if you're willing to be around.
Well, that's a definite yes from me.
Thank you.
And a definite yes from...
Very pleased to do so.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a team together now, and John and I are more than happy to host throughout the day. Thank you for inviting us. And we're a help because we've got Peter and Steven, and we'll get a team together to join in so we can actually do a rolling broadcast throughout the day. We can get together, well, the 5 of us, and plan that.
Yeah.
Because this time around, we know a lot more than we did a year ago.
We do.
We can reach out. So if you can let us have the, just hang on. If you can let us have the link afterwards to the campaign.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we can make a start and start planning. But thank you it's an honour to be involved in that. So
I've put the link in the right hand column.
Oh, you have.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a wonderful note to end on.
Can I just, before you go,
Truly, Peter.
Unfortunately, my guy had a crash last week. He didn't know the difference between red and green, unfortunately. Anyway, so what I'd done was I looked up some old videos for driving instruction. Do you remember the government ones with Reginald Mohusband? Do you remember him? You don't remember? And also the one where don't be an amber gambler. You know that one?
I know the phrase, but I can't link it in my head to an advert.
Don't be an amber gambler, where 2 of them say it's amber, I'll go, and it ends up in the crash. They're twins because they're the same people taking the same risk. So it was quite good. Now, what I would want to ask you, Neil, is there any driving training videos online that we can get access to as part of... I'm an advanced motorist myself. And I don't let the guys... I buy them hands-free kit for the vehicles to make sure they've got them. So I just wonder if there's anything online to train with.
I don't know, in reality. Certainly not something that the police produce. There may be something that the Institute of Advanced Motorists do, or maybe even a driving school that's really sort of enthusiastic and pro sort of internet social might do something, but probably not. But it's one of those things. I think, I used to always confuse people when I was out on traffic, and I'd sort of stop somebody and they'd talk to them about traffic lights, and I'd say, well, it's a traffic light. It's not complicated. What does red mean? Say, oh, stop, officer. They say, what does amber mean? They go, well, get ready to stop. You say, no, it means stop.
Stop. Oh, I took a man yesterday and I said, what does amber mean? What does amber mean? You go, stop. Yes. Not get ready to stop. Not stop. Nothing after it. It's
not think about it. Yeah. But then the thing that really threw them then was I'd say, well, what does green mean? And they go, go. And you say, no, it doesn't. It means proceed with caution, because there could be somebody coming through with blue lights from your near side. That's
I like that. Proceed with caution. Yes, I've got to get that one in my head. I'll hammer him into it. I'll take him in and give him that one.
I'm sure you will, Peter.
Well, as I say, I'm an advanced motorist, and every time I go in, I say, change up. Why did you go wrong like that? Why? I says, who trained you? I want to meet them. And he gets every day. Most people don't know how you reverse from a main road into a side street. Do you know what I'm on about here, Neil? The advanced motorist. Most people don't do it, where you go to the other side and go up. Roadcraft. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Principles of corners and bends, and oh gosh.
Yeah.
Neil,
Well,
see
I've
about
added
your
5,600 to your thunderclap, Neil. So
Neil, see about
There
your.
you
Sorry, I was going to say Neil about your. You're obviously the thing you're going to do that you did last year. Yeah, the amount of people I still see doing live streaming, even though their phones on like a almost if you're having a sat nav adapter, they connect it on and they still live stream when they're driving. The amount of people I see, even people on my Facebook, your friends, even in Scotland, and I
Yeah.
watch them and I just shake my head and go. And the way they're driving, they're sort of kind of concentrating on the phone and back and forward while they're watching. I just think that someone's that day when something happens, oh, I'm fine, I'm really safe, honest, great. And you realise that 1 second is just bang, and something will happen. I'll just be going and say, you almost as well, you were warned, it serves you right, you have no sympathy from us because the whole warning signs are there. Exact same with drugs and all that. It's the exact same scenario. You take your eyes off the road, you're not concentrating, something happens, boom, just why take the risk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, there's a big argument. I mean, what we've become is, and I mean, I'm raising an argument that goes against the grain with an awful lot of people about the use of hands-free devices, because hands-free, we've been conditioned by the legislation over the years, because the legislation came in when the mobile phones were introduced and decided that if you had your hands on the steering wheel, it would be fine. And so that's where the term hands-free came from. The legislation said you've got to have, you can't hold the phone, therefore you've got to have your hands on the wheel, or it could be scratching your ear or whatever. And so we've become conditioned to think that if we've got our hands on the wheel, we're okay, we're not touching the phone. And yet there's three aspects to it, to me, really. Is the one, the physical holding of the device, but then where are your eyes and where is your mind? Because if your eyes and your mind aren't on the road and concentrating on the task in hand at the same time, well, then you're also opening yourself up to problems. Because if you take the hands-free call and it's your partner or your husband or your wife, whatever, who says, I can't find the keys to the other car, where are they? Where's that person's mind then? Their eyes might be looking down the road, but what are they seeing? Because suddenly there's potential for their mind to be going up the stairs, you know, and did I put them on the window ledge at the top of the stairs? No, I didn't put them there. Where did it go when it came in? And still having a conversation. Suddenly there's a whole load of other aspects into the conversation there that can be problematic, but it's causing a lot of issues with people who say, I'm hands-free and I've got a completely, you know, voice activated and I don't even have to touch anything. And that's because we've become conditioned to using hands-free. And in some regards, it's I would guess it's okay, but in other regards, it's as dangerous as. So but I'm going to battle with people about that one because it's so ingrained. It's an embedded behaviour.
Truly it is. I mean, but the situation is, if you're listening in your car, you're listening to music, or you're listening to a podcast, or you're listening to something, then you've got used to doing that. It's not a distraction. Whereas if you're speaking to somebody on the phone, you're actually diverting your own attention to thinking about what people are saying and that knowing you've got to answer.
Yes.
So I take your point on that one, totally.
Yeah. And I think things as well as people say to me, well, it's no different to talking with somebody who sat in the passenger seat. But I sort of say to them, well, then when you're driving down the road with a passenger and you're just talking and you come up to a roundabout and it looks a bit busy and you're changing gear and getting yourself ready, your passenger naturally sort of pauses on the conversation because they're watching what you're doing. Oh, okay, and then they move up and say, anyway, so what happened? Whereas the person on the other end of the phone is completely blind to that, so they'll just keep asking those questions and keep the conversation going. And there's a temptation to want to keep that conversation going, which, you know, some people will be better at it than others, and some people I'm sure would be completely, you know, I'm not completely safe, but some people would be safer than others. But it is another issue, but that's a real tough one for people to swallow because we've been conditioned to it by the legislation and decades of enforcement of hands-free legislation and hands-free kits and all that sort of stuff, which is why I do this phone smart thing, which is phone smart, SMART, being switch off, make journey, arrive alive, reactivate, now talk, Talk Now. But some people are struggling with that, but I'll keep pushing that as well. But Don't Stream and Drive is all systems go now for 2017. So
right, okay. Can you just remind us of the date and how we can get involved?
It's March the 2nd this year, and it will be all day. I will no doubt be doing some live stream, and we did it on Blab last year, just a quiet little sob. Probably do it on Smiletime. I have got plans with Chaos to reinvigorate Offbeat Cops and do some stuff with that. So we'll be using Smiletime because it's the best platform, cost and effectiveness wise. But it's March the 2nd. To get involved, you can, for the time being, all I'm looking for is people to sign up to the Thunderclap and show their support. And then I will announce at a later date what I'm hoping for people to do on social media during the day. And I'm just trying to get people to sign up and get them to encourage as many people that they know to sign up as well, just to spread the word with the link down there.
If you can get that link, if you can get the link put into the Facebook group or something, or
I can do that.
Yeah, that was just because it's not right. You can't really click on it.
I've posted it in Facebook.
That's cool.
Oh, save me a job.
Just means people we can. If you've got to maybe do like a couple of Canva graphics or something for it to help advertise it, push it for that day. Because Canva's a free design, you can just put Don't Stream and Drive and start publicizing it on Facebook.
Yeah,
there was
we've got some great images from the 1 Minute Break team last year.
I could tag in. I've got somebody on my Facebook who does it. I could tag in his videos, he's in Edinburgh live streaming. I don't comment. That's a good grief. You see the videos. He's obviously clearly driving, and there's 3 videos recently. One before Christmas it was, and you can see them. And it's a perfect example of not. You can just watch it. It's like good grief. It's like, why are you driving? Why you got your video on? It's just. But these are the primaries. These are the kind of people that need to be named and shamed, because when they're doing it. So when you're doing something like this, and a reason, especially with yourself, with being in the police, and you're doing this campaign, these people need to be named and shamed, and you need to sort of almost say, this is the reason why we're saying this. It's not because we want you to die, we want you to live. You know what I mean?
Indeed. And that's why we are so happy to be involved in promoting the course. Right now, we've been going for an hour and a quarter, and it's naturally time to take a break for this week. We'll be back next week. So I want to say a big thank you, Neil, for joining us, and look forward to being part on March 2nd. And I'll say goodbye to yourself for now and bring John back in. And shall we say goodbye, gentlemen?
Bye, everybody.
So it's goodbye from John. It's goodbye from
Aberdeen.
Peter. Say goodbye, Peter.
Goodbye, Peter.
I knew that was going to happen. As soon as I said it, I knew exactly what was going to happen. Fraser, do you want to give it a go?
Goodbye, everybody. Take care. Have a good one.
All right. We look forward to seeing you all next week on Blabbing for Britain at 10 o'clock. Until then, have a great week. Let's hope it's a quiet day in America tomorrow, and we'll see everybody in a week's time. So we're going to go off air now. Thank you, everybody who's watched. Thank you, everybody who's come on. Thank you to Neil and Fraser, and of course we lost Steven. Hopefully we'll have him back for next week. And Fraser, thank you for joining us. And Steve, Peter, as always, looking forward to the show on Monday. Good luck with that. And I'll be watching, and I'm sure that
you'll be helping. Then we'll shut his computer down.
I'm no problem with helping. And office Fraser 7 o'clock next Monday. If we get the gang there as well and cheer Peter on. And we've got 2 new shows that came out this week. Who knows what's going to happen next week? But it's my pleasure to say thank you for watching this week, and John to do the outro.
And it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him, and goodbye from him, and goodbye from him.
Right. So we're still going to stay on Smiletime, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Right. So that we're counting out on Facebook now because we know from experience earlier this week that there is a run out